Welcome back, everyone. FloTrack Podcast. Happy Friday. I am Kevin. He is Gordon. We're off on Wednesday, so playing a little bit catch up on this Friday. Gordon, how are you doing, sir?
I'm upset that we were off on Wednesday. I feel bad for our fans. I feel bad for you. I feel bad for everyone who wanted to hear our hot takes on that Wednesday of Athlete of the Year. That's what we're going to talk about today. But should we tell people why we weren't live on Wednesday?
It's not that exciting. It's just a staffing hiccup. That's all it is. We'll say staffing hiccup, right?
That's
not you or me, but we need someone running the keys. We didn't have anybody. But listen, none of the stuff went out of date between Wednesday and today. We just rolled the whole show over.
So we just it's like a 401k. We just roll into another Roth IRA or something?
Exactly.
Okay.
By the way, do not accept financial advice from Gordon Mack. Got to do a disclaimer here at the top of the show.
NFTs, those are still a thing, right?
Not for me.
Was it Ape Club? What's the things they do?
The
Bored Ape Club?
Yeah, I think those are really, really hitting their stride. No, we're going to talk about Athlete of the Year, as you mentioned. They released the Diamond League schedule. We'll talk about that. USATF announced their schedule, so we know where the U.S. championships are going to be held and all those other lower tier meets. We got an email that I want to get to about ranking the days of the World Championships, which that's my wheelhouse, baby. And there's a really good Noah Lyles article in the LA Times from our friend Andrew Greif, which I want to talk about as well. So
this sounds like an incredible show. I'm just going to come along for the ride.
Yeah.
So I just sit back and you do all the talking?
Definitely sit straight up.
Should we tell people you're not feeling well?
No, we're not going to say that because I don't want
think about that.
I don't want an excuse.
Okay.
Right? It's
I like that.
I don't release the injury report ahead of time.
Okay.
You don't want your viewers or anything like that knowing that you're hurt. Also, the gift card extravaganza, I think, is officially off and running. We got an email from someone that showed us that we were number one on Spotify's Wrapped. They're getting a gift card. So I'm bringing envelopes to the studio next week. I'm bringing stamps, and you're going to bring all your gift cards, and we're going to spread some holiday cheer.
We're doing this? Is it actually happening?
Yeah, this is happening. Later on, we'll make it a game.
We're going to have a wheel, and you spin the wheel for the gift card.
Yeah, but the first email we got had the screenshot. We're number one. So they get one. I'm not saying everybody's going to get one because of that.
But maybe, how about this? In order to be eligible for a spin of the gift card wheel, you have to have a screenshot of at least us being in your top 5.
I mean, that's okay. Sure, we'll come up with fun games.
What if they don't use Spotify though?
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to make a rule here. I just think it's going to be fun.
Okay.
Spreading some holiday cheer. As I mentioned, Pacific Sun. Who knows?
I got 2-pack Sun. I
saw it. You sent me a picture. I sent you a picture. I went digging through. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Do we have any gift cards around here?" Because when you get married, I don't know if it's still the case. Back when we got married, you said no gifts, but people still give you money and sometimes gift cards. So you like Cold Stone Creamery. I'm gonna need to inquire about how much is left on some of these cards. Is there Cold Stone in Austin, Texas? I don't think so, right?
Maybe it might be. I don't know.
That's the other risk. You might get a gift card for a place that doesn't exist in your hometown.
Yeah.
But then you know what you do? You pass that along to somebody else.
I have some gift certificates to breweries in Austin. So if you win those, you basically win a all expensive paid trip to Austin to go to one brewery.
You win once you get here. You have to do all the hard work. Once you're here, though, then you can go to the brewery.
So there's
maybe we'll do that one.
25% are Austin only gift cards, and then the other 75% are probably national chains.
Maybe we'll look and we'll put them in an order of which ones are more national versus which ones are regional or local, and then do it that way. All right, let's start off. First story. No surprise here. World Athletics announced Athlete of the Year. It's Mondo. It's Sydney. No surprise. We don't get the order of the top 5,
which I wish we would get.
That would have been a little bit more interesting, but we get the 2 people we thought would win. Both of them broke the world record multiple times. I thought Kipchoge made a late bid against Mondo. I didn't think Sydney would have any competition, although there's some other people who had fantastic seasons. But overall, one of the least surprising Athlete of the Year announcements we've had in the last few years.
Yeah, but should we have the conversation that the Athlete of the Year didn't compete in the organization's premier track and field series, the Diamond League? Obviously, what Sydney did was incredible, breaking the world record multiple times. I think she is the Athlete of the Year, for the record.
Yeah.
But it is kind of weird when the Athlete of the Year doesn't really run much. Do you think
I would argue, though,
That's an issue?
the premier meet for the organization is the World Championship. That's the meet.
So then they shouldn't
That's
call it
the meet.
Athlete of the Year. They should call it Athlete of the Meet.
Yeah. Well, listen, I've said this once. I've said this twice. I've said this 3 times. If you're only going to race in a few finals, you got to make them count. And that's what you did.
It would be like giving Andre Iguodala the MVP of the NBA based off of his Golden State versus Cavaliers.
No, because he didn't break the world record multiple times.
But he did stop LeBron James.
He did. Yeah, it was in the finals.
Finals.
That's a good point. He did do that. Well deserved. I mean, Steph should have got it. We know, but he was great in that series. No, you look at Sydney's season, and the stat I like to bring up: the 10th fastest time in history belongs to her, and it came from a World Championship semi. Right? You had
that's the stat you love to bring up. You're just walking down the street and be like, "Hey, have you heard?
Yeah,
the fastest time ever, semifinal this year."
I mean, that's really weird if you think about it. It's very strange that it would come from a semi. That just shows you how good she was. Right? Breaks the world record at USA's, breaks it at World Championships. She ran real fast in Nashville when the hurdles were in the wrong spot. She had another fast time in Sheikh Eshkavayeva. Yeah, they didn't come in the Diamond Leagues. I don't really think they care. I don't really care either because I don't. As long as you're competing, to me it doesn't matter where you're competing as long as the competition is good. And meets like Sheikh Eshkavayeva were really good, right? Meets like USA's are really good. Now, if someone had a similar resume as her in terms of how many times they ran historical marks, and then one of them raced 5 or 6 more times, obviously advantage them. But I don't think we're going to see many seasons like this again. So I don't think this is a template. I don't think people should come away with this and say, oh, well, I guess you can only run 5 or 6 times and win Athlete of the Year. Yeah, you can do that, but you need to be able to run this fast, put quality performance after quality performance. So I don't think it's a big deal. But I would have liked to see him run more again.
So, World Athlete of the Year.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about Rising Star, though.
Well, no, before we talk about Rising Star. So, this is the first one this is the second one for Mondo. First for Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
Mondo is not that old. He's like, how many? And Sydney's not that old.
No, neither of them are that old. 23 for Sydney.
Here's the question. Who will end with more Athlete of the Year titles? And how many will that be? And will it be the most ever?
They're both 23.
Who has the most ever?
Gotta be Bolt, right? Scroll down on that. There's a number by him. When they get multiple ones, you can see the number by him.
6. So Bolt has 6. On the men's side. And on the women's side...
Jackie Joyner?
No, it's Isinbayeva.
Isinbayeva?
Yeah.
The pole vaulter?
Pole vaulter. So...
How many she have?
3.
Okay, Sydney will go beyond the 3. Mondo won't get to 6.
Mondo's at 2.
Yeah, I think Mondo ends with 5. I think Sydney ends with 4.
Mondo ends with 5, Sydney ends with 4.
Yeah, Sydney becomes the most decorated female athlete of all time. Mondo comes up 1 short. That's what I think.
It's crazy Dalil Muhammad has one in 2019.
She was great in 2019.
Yeah.
She deserved it in 2019. You look back.
But look back on that, like, what Sydney did 3 years later.
Yeah.
Just like, it's like when, sometimes it happened in the Bowerman where you see, like, a great performance in a certain event. Yeah. And then, like, 4 years later, someone just, like, does 10x what they did, but just the sport has evolved.
Yeah. Well, and there's better years.
Yeah.
Right? So, 2016, who won?
Bolt and Almaz Ayana.
Yeah. So, Bolt, you know how many 100-meter finals Bolt ran that year?
How many, Kevin?
2, 3, 4, 5. He ran 5 100-meter finals, and he ran 2 200-meter finals. He ran 7 finals total. He ran a grand total of 4 times under 10 seconds and a grand total of 3 times under 20 seconds.
That's not a lot of running.
He went 981 in the Olympics and 1978.
He didn't even run that fast.
Exactly. And he got it. And he shouldn't have got it. There were more worthy people to get it that year. I remember saying at the time he shouldn't have got it, but different seasons yield different winners in terms of, oh man, there's just a bunch of world records this year, or there's a lot of undefeated people this year. But I mean, a lot of that it's Bolt, right? You're making it a career achievement award. And they probably thought, how many more opportunities do we have to give it to him? And they were right, because that was the last one. But he ran 7 finals total in 2016, and they were not jaw-dropping times. And people are like, well, it's not fair. You're grading him on a curve. You're grading him against old Usain Bolt. No, man. 981? 1978? Right?
Yeah.
That's good.
It's good.
It's good, but it's not, oh, he ran 1965, 965 and 1903.
So now we are going on now, 13 straight years of a different woman winning athlete of the year.
That's a good stat.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Stat man Gordon right here.
I think we'll get to I think we'll get to 14 because I think this year was so close.
So you don't think Sydney wins next year?
Let me clarify. This year wasn't close. It should have been Sydney, but there were so many other worthy people that I think unless she doubles up, because now she has the issue where she's getting graded against herself, which is tough because now the world record is really far out there. I think she'd be more likely to do it if she moves to the quarter and puts down some crazy times in the 400. But yeah, I think between Shelly and Fraser-Price, between Shrika Jackson, between Toby Amason, between Faith Kipyegon, one of them is going to continue their hot streak into the next year, and they'll get it.
Okay, Kevin. So I introduced a new segment back on Monday. It's called the Gun to Your Head segment.
Yeah, still don't like it.
You don't like it?
Not a fan.
It's struggling to gain a sponsorship.
Okay,
I wonder why. Probably see why.
But yeah, let's change that for 2023.
That'll be my goal in 2023 to change the Gun to the Head segment. But it's still 2022. I'm going to keep that segment. Gun to your head, Kevin. Who will be the 2023 World Athlete of the Years? Or World Athletes of the Year?
I'll go Faith Kipyegon because I think she's going to get the 1,500-meter world record. And a lot of people,
that's what I was going to say,
especially people on the show, are not giving Faith Kipyegon their due. So I'm going to stand here, actually I'm going to sit here proudly and say it will be Faith Kipyegon. What about on the men's side?
Well, that's what I was, I'm asking you men and women.
Oh, men? I mean, the best money would be on Mondo repeat, right? And because he can beat it a centimeter at a time, he can do the same thing again indoors and out. I guess you'd also think Lyles. You'd think Dos Santos maybe, one of those 400-meter hurdles, but I'll go Mondo.
Mondo?
Yeah.
I'll go with Lyles. I think I'll go with Lyles and Faith Kipyegon. That's who I think.
Stealing my pick.
No, you stole my pick.
Stealing my pick.
It was in my head.
I've been here telling you not to sleep on Faith Kipyegon all season.
That was me doing that.
Who at the World Championships in Eugene was so confident that Faith Kipyegon would win that I said if she lost, I would run all out for 3 minutes and 50 seconds down the streets of Eugene? Me, it was this guy.
Who put all of his losses all on Jakob Ingebrigtsen winning the 5K?
You take Jakob?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got all my money back.
No, I'm saying you taking him for Athlete of the Year?
Actually, yeah. Sorry, Lyles. I'm going Jakob.
Interesting.
And Kipyegon. We're going with the Myler double feature. Has there ever been a year where I guess
he's a 5K
when's the last time the same event
meter
won across both men and women?
World record. I don't know.
2013, Usain Bolt, Shelly, and Fraser-Price.
Didn't need to go that far back. Well, it'll be 10-year anniversary of that.
Yeah. Every 10 years. What happened in 2003? It was a high jumper and Garoud. So.
Okay. All in the game says maybe even a row house triple jump, long jump double.
No.
Ooh, hey, if she does double.
If she does double.
Yeah. Give it to her. If she does double. I want to talk about the Rising Star Award here, too.
Let's do it. Rising Stars.
I want to point out one person who got it. Back-to-back Rising Star Award. Arian Knighton wins it again. This is the U20 award. Guess what? He's eligible to win it again next year.
He rose twice and can rise a third time. He's still
rising. He's at a ridiculous altitude right now.
How do you rise from a rise?
This is why you should not have named the award Rising Star, because it's already risen at this point. He could run slower than he did this year and still be the best U20 men's athlete next year. Because he has such a big cushion. So he could rise and then fall and then still be the deserved winner of it.
How can you rise anymore? I mean, what could
It's U20.
He's going to win again. If he just...
That's what I'm saying.
He's not going to get worse. He's going to get better, and a better version of Knighton is not going to be anything connected to what anyone
Even if
else
he stays
does.
the same, there's going to have to be someone coming out of the complete blue who we're not aware of at all.
Yeah.
To be a U20 person who could...
It's not going to be a sprinter.
Jump in the medal picture on the men's side.
It would have to be But a distance runner's not going to do that.
No.
Maybe it would be No, it's going to be
If you can get odds on the 2023 Rising Star Award right now, load up on Arian Knighton. As long as he stays healthy, he's good. Serbian javelin thrower Adriana Velago got it on the women's side of things. So
that was a lot of syllables.
That is the... It's not Adriana Velago?
Serbia. You said
Serbian javelin. I'm reading the release.
Serbian javelin thrower Adriana Velago. You said
Yeah. Look, some say I'm good at speaking.
You said 15 syllables.
I'm good at speaking. I'm good at asking questions, some might say. Right? I'm a man of many talents. Let's move on, though. I want you to break down this Diamond League schedule for us. World Athletics announced the Diamond League schedule for 2023. not a huge surprise here, although we have, I think, more Diamond League meets than ever before. We have Silesia, Poland there, getting a Diamond League spot again. We have 2 meets in China, and they're later on in the schedule this time. One in Shanghai at the end of July, one in Shenzhen at the beginning of August. Obviously, everything has been canceled. It's been planned for China and the running world for the last couple of years. But the big thing from the American perspective is Eugene, Oregon will host Diamond League Final at the Prefontaine Classic September 16th and 17th.
So that's been known for a while.
Yep.
Is this breaking news that this calendar is out?
It's not breaking news, but we were wondering because, well, for the Eugene side of things, they host a college football game that weekend too. So and it needs to be a 2-day meet, but it needs to be 2 consecutive days. So when we were in Eugene, we were talking to people, hey, would they do one day and then a rest day and then the second day? Or what would they do? They're just going to go back to back. I mean, I guess the big question mark is, will those meets happen that are scheduled in China? Monaco is one that you always circle. July 21st. Right? Is that where Faith Kipyegon breaks the world record in the 1500? Will Jakob take a big swing at that one? You can also see when you look at that schedule when the break is, like when the World Championships will be. It's in that August 3rd to August 31st.
This is 3 Diamond Leagues post.
Exactly, which I don't know how you feel. I like that. I mean, I'd love for it to be wrapped up completely beforehand, but we were more 50-50 last year.
I mean, I like it when it's all the Diamond League final should be a week before World.
Yeah.
But actually, no. What the Diamond League final should be Worlds.
Okay, what do you think of the
schedule? They should combine it. What do I think of the schedule? It starts May 5th, ends September 16th/17th. What a run. It's going to be wild. We're going to see people running fast in May, in June. Then they're going to go to July and run fast. Then August is going to happen, more fast running. And guess what? September, fast as well. I would say, I mean, the addition of Poland is kind of cool. So how many total meetings are there now?
14, I think.
14? You doing the math in your head?
No, I thought I saw it written down somewhere. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay. Gordon, a great counter.
15. So 14 pre-Diamond League final. Odds of the 2 Chinese meets happening.
Man, I read a news story the other day that they're starting to loosen some of their protocols there. I don't know what it's going to look like at the end of July and the beginning of August, so I wouldn't bet strong either way. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But they did move them, right? Usually Shanghai used to be way up in that front group right next to Doha. So I think there's some thought process there. Hey, let's get ahead of this. Let's move this farther down. But even if those do get see, that is interesting, though, because if those do get canceled, those are the 2 right before Worlds. So you'd essentially go from July 23rd, right, into August 31st. It'd be over a month with no Diamond League. And World starts on August 19th. I guess that's not too big of a break, and people can get in domestic meets. But that's almost a full month before World Championships with no Diamond League.
So this is what I've been thinking about ever since it's been announced that Prefontaine is the Diamond League final. So the way all these Diamond Leagues work, right, is you're guaranteed at least 1 lane to a local athlete, right?
Not really. I looked it up. Some of those local athletes were in the rankings, and I think just a lot of scratches happened because no one's actually in Zurich hanging out. Like the 14th best 100-meter runner doesn't think their number's going to get called, so then it goes to number 15. I don't think it's a guarantee that you get it.
Well, I was saying, is there a situation where, like, if you're an American, you can just be the American in lane 9 for every event?
Yeah.
And so we could have, like, some fun, like, last-minute U.S. guys and girls, or men and women, in the Diamond League final because they're American.
Yeah, and then also here that we need to think about is Nike wants all their athletes to go to pre. So if they keep that in, right, there's going to be fewer people skipping the Diamond League, I would think.
Or does that mean that there's going to be a lot of non-Diamond League Diamond Leagues at the Diamond League?
Non-Diamond League events? Yeah, because they're going to want more. They'll do the International Mile. They'll do an Open 800 because they want more of their athletes to be showcased. But also on the flip side of things, I wonder, too, if you're not a Nike athlete, you're still going to want to run, unless you're a very, very, very special case. You're still going to want to run because you're going to want to win the Diamond League final and get the money and get the buy. But also, like if this was around when Usain Bolt was running, Bolt never ran a pre. Does Bolt show up to a Nike meet being sponsored by Puma? I don't know.
Here's a question. Does Oregon turn one of the races into a cross-country tune-up? The kids,
The University
kids.
of Oregon?
Yeah, college kids.
So we're talking about FloTrack, and I said, would Bolt have run back in the day? And your first thought is, will college kids run in a Diamond League final?
I mean, imagine
No.
Charles Hicks. He's getting ready for his junior year. He's like, hey, coach, I'm fit. Getting ready for the Nuttycombe invite. Let's put on a 3K for a bunch of college kids. Because don't we always wish that some college kids who were eligible to run at Prefontaine when it was in June, when it was in May, but they couldn't because they had to go to prelims, cross country season. Boom. You know you would watch.
No. You lost me with
how many
all due respect to Charles Hicks. You lost me with what if Charles Hicks
I mean, how
runs?
many Colas points do you think you get for winning a Diamond League final?
Zero. Zero.
You don't think you get an automatic bye to
You get zero. Maybe someone will
cross-country
rab
nationals?
it. Maybe someone will rab it. I don't think you get an automatic bye.
I think that'll be cool. I mean, Jerry Schumacher's going to do something. He's got the greatest runners all over the world coming to his campus in the middle of cross-country season.
You can't just...
Do you think he's going to get some of them to give like motivational speeches?
No.
Before
Okay, we're
workouts?
moving on. You've torpedoed this segment. Let's do more schedule talk. USATF schedule out for 2023. I want
More
you to-
schedule talk. Okay.
Yes. Well,
This is the greatest podcast ever. We're talking about schedules.
Well, you're talking
In
about
2023.
will a college runner do a tune-up race in the beginning of cross-country season in the middle of the Diamond League? Anyway,
I mean, if they're going to put on international miles, they can put on collegiate miles.
Well, what does it matter? Who cares? My point.
Because you'll watch it.
No. I'll be way more interested in the people who are going to win the Diamond League.
No, you'll be. Would you rather watch an international mile or a cross country race at the Diamond League?
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. All right, we got the...
You didn't even answer the question because you know I'm right.
Why would there be a cross-country race?
Because it's cross country season. It's September.
Are they going to run cross-country? Or are they going to run
I don't know.
track? This is terrible. Okay, indoor championships are going to be in Albuquerque, which we thought, but I don't know. Was that official? I'm not sure.
We didn't know. It was
Okay.
announced when they made this.
So then outdoors, going to be in Eugene, again, July 6th through the 9th. We already mentioned Prefontaine Classic. And then you have these meets, the New York City Grand Prix, LA Grand Prix, Distance Classic, Bermuda Grand Prix. These started basically COVID, right? Like, because they wanted to give athletes more opportunities to run, and they've kept them there. They use Mount Sac for the LA meet. They go out to Randall's Island for New York because they don't have a Diamond League in New York anymore. But not surprised it's back at Pre. This is not a shocking schedule, but
It shocked me. Do you know what's missing from that schedule?
what?
Look. Challenge. Can you figure out? Maybe the chat can figure it out. Can the chat or Kevin figure out what is missing from the outdoor season that has always been on this list?
Not the Oxy meet.
Nope.
Okay, because that's basically Distance Classic.
There's a meet there that was always considered a high-level meet that they would put on the outdoor schedule for USATF. Can the chat get it? Chat's not mentioning it. They're talking
Chad
about
is still reeling from the will they run a cross-country race at the Diamond League final because Jerry Schumacher, who is not involved in the Prefontaine Classic, will want them to do it. Man, that's a good question.
I love this. The special one just said in the chat, what's John McEnroe doing here?
I've gotten that a lot. What about? Oh, you're not talking about the Oregon Relays Hayward Premier meet, are you?
Yeah, and closer.
Is that Hayward?
No.
Portland?
No.
I don't even know what portion of the country we're in.
Middle of the country.
Oh, Drake?
Yeah. Why isn't Drake Relays on here?
What was the connection to? They had that elite section, right?
Yeah, they'd had a bunch of elite sections. It was always part of like their main start of the outdoor season in April.
Because they had Penn
It
too,
was
right?
Drake and Penn,
Yeah.
but then USATF pulled out of Penn.
Yeah.
I think this is a signal that USATF has pulled out of Drake.
Okay. Or maybe it's TBD.
No, I don't know. Because you would think that, like Drake Relays would be here. The same way Miller Rose's Games is here at New Balance Indoor Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Drake was always there, but Drake's not there.
Bermuda back. 5 meter per second wins. Let's go. Grant, my man, you got to run it this year. Right?
Should we go?
Yes, 100%. We should, but we need to make sure
You
Grant.
make a call?
Yeah.
That's the question.
I mean, I am the money man over here. I think we know that by now. That was a good field. I mean, the weather was rough, but they had good fields out there. It
Yeah.
was exciting.
I mean, for me, it would be cool. Rose Festival, Tucson, it's always good. USA's being at Eugene. Final question of the great schedule segment that we created here.
You know what? You planned the show,
on this
huh?
Friday podcast that you didn't go to on Wednesday. I like how you said
You didn't
the
go
reason
either.
why we didn't do the Wednesday podcast was because our producer wasn't here. When really, you should tell the truth. It was because you didn't want to do it.
I wanted to do it. We didn't have a backup. It's nobody's fault. Mostly yours.
Mostly
Okay.
mine. Anyway,
What's the question about USA's?
it's in Eugene again.
Yeah. I've been there.
Is it ever going to leave Eugene?
Where could it
Now
go?
that stadium is there,
Yeah.
like, are they ever going to?
Where could it go? You mentioned Drake before. It could go
Yeah,
to Des Moines.
I mean, obviously they go to Sacramento and they
Yeah.
go on to Drake and all this stuff.
it
but
could
like,
go to Mount Sac.
now that Hayward Field is what it is,
Yeah.
there's never going to be like, why let this stadium be empty?
Yeah.
Right?
100%. Yeah. If it was up to the powers that be at Hayward Field, I think they'd want all the meets there because that's the reason
Yeah.
why you built the stadium. The question is, will USATF agree? And for the most part, they have, even before Hayward got built, because that's where all the meets were being held. And even on the NCAA side, all the
Yeah.
meets are being held there. But like, we have basically the possibility of 4 sites. That we start with 4 sites. That's it. It's not as if we have 15 hosts that want to do it and then we narrow it down. We got Des Moines, we got Mount Sac, we got Sacramento, and we got Eugene. That's it, unless somebody else pops up.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a lot of money that needs to be raised. There's a lot of volunteers that need to be recruited. And you need to have the right type of facility with all the specs to host a meet like this. So if the other 3 don't want to do it, then it's going to go to Eugene every single time. If they do want to do it, then it becomes interesting. But there's not a bunch of people beat down the door to host USA Championship meets, right?
Yeah.
There's not like a long list of people doing it.
Hey, Kevin, you love schedules so much. So should we talk more about schedules?
Yeah, so I got an email. This is more about an email. We got an email from Preet.
We're doing like 40 minutes on scheduling.
No, this is better. This is
Okay.
better. So we're responding to what people want.
Okay.
Preet, he emails in from London.
Okay.
You've never even been to London, have you?
I've been to London many times. I have a friend from London.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, who is the older brother of a famous musician.
Who is it?
Can't tell you.
And they're not real. Okay.
No, they are real.
Massive London-based fan of the podcast here. So I'm going to answer his email because he says he's a massive fan. You, on the other hand, want to ignore him. I'm not going to. Not sure if you spotted it, but tickets for World Athletics Championships 2023 open on December 12th. That's in 3 days, Gordon. There's also a pre-sale opening on December 9th, today, for those who have signed up to the World Athletics website. Might be worth a PSA about this on the next podcast, and also would love to hear any recommendations of the best sessions to attend, and also if you have any tips on the best places to sit in the stadium for particular sessions. Incredibly doesn't seem to be well publicized by World Athletics. I've already booked my flights and accommodations, so very excited to get tickets. That is Preet. Okay, so I love schedules. I love breaking down which days to go. Obviously, if you have your first choice, you go to the whole meet, right? If they're offering all sessions passes, I talked to someone who'd been to basically every single World Championships in history. They said, get the all sessions pass if you can, right? And then if you don't end up going, you can sell them from there.
Yeah.
But I went through this schedule with a fine-tooth comb and ranked every single evening session. I had an evening session because most of the finals are in the evening, so that way people can plan accordingly. That's the good news. The bad news is, if you're going for like a 4-day stretch, some of the days are out of order. But
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to you, Preet. I'm going to give it to everybody else here listening to the show, my rankings. First of all, it's only 9 days, not 10.
Okay.
That's the first thing you need to know. Don't go there thinking it's a 10-day meet. You'll be there the first day. No one will be there.
Where is everyone?
They'll be setting up the stadium. It'll be crazy. You want me to go through these?
Yeah. So first of all, okay. So 9 days.
Yeah.
And you're going to start with the worst day.
Worst
and
to the
work our way
best.
up. So what is the worst day of the 2023 championship?
Okay, the worst day is day one. And that
Ooh.
doesn't surprise a lot of people because you don't have a lot of finals. And I'm assuming you're going to want to see some finals. Now, I will say, if you have a particular affinity for an event, your rankings are going to change, right?
Yes.
If you are really into the men's shot put, for example, you're going to bump it up higher, right? If you're really into the men's 100, you're probably going to have it higher than me. I'm trying to look at the overall quality of the day.
Okay.
Yeah, so first one, we can put it up there. Evening session, day one. You see it up there, 1,500, round 1. It's exciting. You have the heptathlon. But there's really only 3 finals, Gordon. There's really only 3 finals. Men's shot, women's 10, and the mixed 4x4. And if we're talking about the mixed 4x4 being like the capstone event, it was kind of exciting when Allison Felix is going for that other medal. But otherwise, not a great day. Number 8. Day 4.
What's number 8?
Day 4. Let's scroll down to day 4. Thank you, Nico. Shout out to Nico doing a great job producing today. What do we got on day 4, Gordon? We got the men's steeple. Wasn't that great last year. Tactical affair. Not too exciting. Women's 15. That's the highlight. Women's 400 hurdles semifinals. Men's 400 semifinals. And the men's 800 heats. Are you feeling optimistic about the men's 800 this year, Gordon?
I'm always optimistic.
Okay. But semifinals, not going to be that great. So that's the 8th best day. The 7th best day, day number 2. We'll go back in time. Day number 2, you get some 1,500 men's and women's semis. And semis are fun, right? Semis are fun. You're waiting who has the big Q, who has the little Q. There's some drama involved there, and you can see a bigger pool of athletes, perhaps an upset. It's exciting. Men's 10,000 and men's 100. Now, if someone wants to bump this up early because they're really into the men's 10 or the men's 100, I don't blame them, but I have them ranked number 7. Number 6, day 3. Day 3. And this is where we get into a better tier. I think 1, 4, and 2 are in a separate tier. Day 3, we get into a better tier. And I'll tell you why. Gordon.
Oh, tell me. I am
on the edge of your seat.
Kevin, I just want to say this has been the best segment I've ever been a part of.
Good. I'm going to keep going.
So
women's 100 final. Is it going to be great? Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Right, there's too many big names in women's 100 not to be awesome. Men's high hurdles. We talked about how many guys are going to go sub 13 this year, right?
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Is it Grant? Is it Devin Allen?
Jamaica's got 2 guys.
Yeah, the Jamaican crew there with Hansel Parchment and Broadbell. Like, it's going to be an exciting race. But here's the sleeper element to this. Women's 400-meter hurdles, round 1, and women's 400 meters semifinal. This could be a Sydney day.
Uh-oh.
This could be a double day for Sydney.
So these tickets could become extremely valuable.
So do not sleep on day 3. This day, and by the way, I have the right to, I'm going to change these every month leading up to the World.
We're doing a segment multiple times?
Ongoing segment. Yeah, I'm going to rank these because it depends on how each event is shaping up. But for right now, this is where it's at. But if Sydney says, I'm going for the double, like, that would be pretty cool. Now, is she going to cruise through both of them? Yes, but it'd be cool just to see her twice. So my 6th best day is day 3. My 5th best day.
Wait, okay. Can you recap where we're at? Wait, what's
1, 4, 2, 3?
Okay, got it.
There you go.
If you're keeping track at home, 1, 4, 2, 3 in reverse order.
Yeah. You can find these on my Tumblr page. All right. Ready for the next one?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. You're mocking me, but people love it.
Go quickly through these. I just want to know what your top 2 are, to be honest.
No, but Preet wrote in all the way from London.
Okay, we do it for the people.
Getting ready for the World Cup.
Okay, fair enough.
Quarterfinal tomorrow against France. He wrote in. I'm going to give him my full analysis.
Fair enough.
All right, day 6, women's 400 hurdle final. All right, if Sydney runs, is she going to get a world record? If she doesn't run, I mean, that one could go in a lot of different directions. Men's 400, women's 100 hurdle, and then 200 semis. 200 semis, I mean, the 200 was great last year. Shaker Jackson, Noah Lyles, Ari Knight. And
semis still aren't going to be good.
I know, but you can see a lot of people.
Yeah,
right?
You can see it.
And good people are not going to make it if the event is as good as last year. So that event gets a bump just because how good the 200 was. All right, we're getting in the top 4 now. Day 7.
So this is the Mount Rushmore of Budapest days at Worlds.
Yes, day 7. You get the 200 finals. Again, I'm banking on those being good. If it turns out they flame out, maybe you drop this one down.
Those are going to be good. 200
finals, 800 women's semis. Again, 800 semis, I think. Well, 1,500 semis are exciting too. But those 2 are the 2 most exciting ones. And the 4x1 heats.
Yeah.
You could see
USA dropped the baton.
Yeah, maybe you're into that, maybe you're not. Now we get to the podium, the top 3 days. Next one, day 8, men's pole vault, athlete of the year, Mondo Duplantis in action. The 4x1 finals.
A lot of orange.
The decathlon, if you're into the decathlon. The women's 5 and the men's 8. Now this one gets the bump. Some people like relays. Some people are going to be really into Mondo. But it has a lot of finals.
Yes.
That's the reason why it's in here. You contrast that with my next best day, the second best day, the silver medal day, day 9. You take the 8 and the 5 and you flip them. So instead of having the men's 8, you have the women's 8. Which one's going to be better, do you think, right now? My money's on the women's 800.
You know what? My money's on the men's.
Okay.
I believe.
All right. But right now, Doesn't look to be the case.
Yes.
And then you get the men's 5, which could be a Jakob double.
Yes.
Then you get the 4x4s, women's steeple on there as well, which brings me to the best day, the number 1 ranked day, day 5, right in the middle. So I'm not doing you any favors. It's not as if you can come for the first day 4 and then or the last 4. I think day 5, men's 4-meter hurdles. Is there a more anticipated race right now from where you sit than the men's 4-meter hurdles?
No.
No. We don't know how it's going to go. Obviously, if there's injuries, it's not going to be great. But I think 2 of the big 3 are going to be ready to go. It's going to be awesome. Women's 400. We could see Sydney. We could see Sydney in that one doing something special. Men's 15. Will we finally get the Jake Whiteman, Jakob Ingebrigtsen rematch? Who knows? And then women's 100-meter hurdle semifinals. The semis are on a different day than the finals for the women's high hurdles. What did Toby Amundsen do in the semis last year, Gordon?
She broke a world record, Kevin.
She broke the world record. So there you have it in order. 1, 4, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 5. I just ranked.
That's a really weird way to tell people your phone number. Say that. Wait, what is it again?
Gotta go back to my sheet. 1, 4, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5. I reserve the right to change these, and I will change them depending on how the season goes. So thank you to our emailer for writing in, and I will update this throughout the season.
I think it should be.
Over to you, Gordon.
I think it should be like 2, 8, 9, 7, 4, 5,
you didn't take
1,
the time.
3.
You didn't take the time to do it. Now he asked best place to watch it. Where do you like to watch track from? If you're a spectator, right? Say you're going with a friend who's never seen a world championship before or a high level track meet, and you could get any seat. Where would you go?
I mean, any seat you want to sit at the start finish line, like halfway up. Because you don't want to be too close to the track, because then you can't see them on the opposite side. Backstretch.
Yep.
I like being high up, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need to feel like I'm right on the edge, because I like being able to have like eagle eye view.
Yeah. So backstretch is kind of cool sometimes too, because you could get a little bit lower. Like it's more of a deal. Sometimes.
And you feel like when you're in the backstretch of a track meet, you feel like you're like allowed to be more friendly to the athletes. It's like, hey, we're not like the people in the good seats. We're like your friends, and we can kind of have a little, like, this is like we can have a little private party here where we can like have conversations, you know,
right,
while they're getting ready for the start of the 200s, you know.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of like, yo, Noah. And I was like, hey, man.
Also, this is a big stadium, right? It's going to be bigger than Hayward. Hayward, it was cliche, but other than the sun, there wasn't really a bad seat in the house, right? If the weather was good, you had good sight lines pretty much no matter where you were. The problem was it was really hot for some of those sessions, especially at USA's. So let's keep moving. We got more stories to get to, Gordon. What's next? The Noah Lyles story. Noah Lyles, friend of the pod, Andrew Greif, the LA Times, did a great story on Noah Lyles with some very interesting quotes. Said he's going after the double, which we anticipated, but it's always interesting to see it confirmed. Said he had a dream of a time he wants to run in the 100 because he's not done in the 100. He dreamed that he ran a 9.41 in a semi. Have you ever been in that ambitious with any dream? Not only 9.41 in a semi. 9.41 in a semi.
So when next time I say I think Bolt's world record's going to get broken, if I just preface with I had a dream that it was going to get broken, then there's not going to be an outcry for being wrong on this.
Yeah.
9:41. I mean, maybe, you know, he's totally going to run 19:41 now.
Well, he can run faster.
He can run faster, but that's probably what he's going to end up running in the 200.
Well, he said he had the dream like first in high school. Talked a lot about improving 10 to 40 meters in the 100, addressing that. Also talked about the 2021 season.
That was a weird year for him.
Where things went awry. Yeah, he said didn't even want to run pre, but remember, came back after the Olympics where he looked, and there's quotes in the story about talking about how he looked tight, looked like he wasn't having any fun out there, looked like he was forcing it, and then didn't even want to do pre. Goes out to pre at the end of the year, runs 1950. I think that was the catalyst for Noah to get back on track, and he carried that into 2022. But I think, you know, reading this article, he's obviously a very confident guy, but reading this article just makes me think that 2021 was an aberration, and we're going to see 2022 going forward. And I think when we made picks and predictions and we thought about Lyles in 2022, a lot of that was with seeing him actually lose in 2021. It was such a foreign feeling to us because we hadn't seen that before. That's gone for me now. I'm thinking about the dominant Lyles. I'm thinking about the one breaking the American record at the World Championships. I'm thinking about the one who has just that amazing last 100 coming off the curve in the 200. Yeah, he's very confident. I'm interested to see though what the 100 looks like for him this year, because that's such a hard team.
I'm going to ask an unfair question, but that's
Yep.
what I do. I like asking unfair questions. What is more likely to happen? Noah Lyles catches the best 100-meter rise and wins the 100?
Mm-hmm.
Or the likes of Bednarik, Knighton, DeGrasse catch Lyles in the 200 and Lyles loses the 200? So what's more likely? Lyles losing the 200 or Lyles winning the 100?
It's a good question. It's a fair question. So he's run 986 in the 100, right? That triumvirate, Curley, Rommel, Coleman, they've run 976 in the 100. Now, times aren't everything, but about a tenth better. Then you go over to the 200. All right, what's the margin there? Because Lyles is at 1931. Well, we have Knighton, 1949. And then we have, where was Bednarik's PB?
Bednarik, who's winning the 20.
1968. I almost think it's the 100. And I don't
It's
think...
more likely to win the 100 than lose the 200.
Yeah, and I think he goes into the year as a big underdog just because Curly's so good, because the U.S. is just stacked. Racy, Rommel, there could be other guys coming back, even some like Mackay Williams. But if you ask me, I think he can keep up his 19.3 form. And I think because it's a longer race, I think something fluky can go wrong in 100 and he can pull an upset. A lot would have to go awry in the 200. But I will say he's a long shot in the 100.
Yeah. I think he's more likely to lose the 200.
Well, because you picked Bednarik.
Yeah. But, you know, I 1,000% can be wrong. And I am wrong a lot.
You've been wrong a lot.
I've been wrong a lot. But it would be cool if Lyles does find a way to join the ranks of Coleman, Curley, Rommel, and Racy and like that whole world, because if Lyles is out there now running 9.7s, that's just going to make it even more exciting to watch his 200. Because I remember, again, if we see Lyles start throwing down some fast hundreds, then that 200's not just going to be, oh, can I PB? It's going to be, if he goes out there and runs 9.7s, Bolt's 19.19 is in trouble. You don't think so?
You're doing it again, but now it's 200.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think a 931 guy, 1931 guy, runs 9.7 twice in May/June?
Bolt ran 9.58.
I know Bolt ran 9.58. But like,
so you're saying if a guy runs 0.2 slower in the 100, that makes you want to think that he can take down his 200?
I think Bolt could have had I think Bolt's 200 record
Interesting.
is not as fast as his ability.
I like it. That's a good take.
I think Bolt could have ran. I was gonna say 1899, but I think Bolt could have ran 19.0.
Maybe, we don't know.
I mean, Bolt could have ran 1909.
Yeah, he did it so early in his career. I've talked about this. If 2010 was a championship year and not a non-championship year, I know he got banged up, but like kind of extending that prime. I think because by the time he comes back in 2011, all starts in the 100, and then things are kind of weird. And 2012 he gets it back, and he got up for Olympics. So if there was another Olympics earlier, perhaps, but no.
What record do you think is more impressive? Is 9.58 or is
the two?
You think this two's more impressive? I think it's 100.
I just think, going back to what I said about the 100, more stuff can go wrong. People can false start.
Yeah.
People can just have an issue in the semi. I just think he's back to where he was before, which is when we talked about Lyles prior to 2021, it was just inevitable. It's the same way we talk about Sydney. It's the same way we talk about Mondo. The same way we talk about Faith Kipyegon.
We might start talking about Knighton that way.
Might, but he hasn't.
Yeah.
He's
got Lyles in his way.
Yeah. He has a guy in his way who's very good and is really good in the moment. And I just thought it'd be one thing if Lyles went out and just ran a couple fast times, and then at Worlds like squeaked by Knighton like he did at USA's. But he clearly rose to the moment, right? And there was a lot of pressure on him. You were in the stadium that day. I mean, people were expecting a lot, and he ran the best race of his life in this high pressure situation. And he talked also about Tokyo being like the most anticlimactic thing. He trained his whole life to compete in the Olympics, and he steps into an empty stadium. So it was a weird year. He had stuff going on, and that's all seemingly in the past now. I think we need to think of him as like these next 2 years is gonna be prime.
And then if he runs 9.7 twice in May/June, he's running.
Well, yeah.
He's running 19 teens.
Make sure to tag Bolt again on that. On the game says Bolt also never had a good tailwind in any of his world record races.
What was the tailwind for Lyles' 1931?
The tailwind for Lyles' 1931 was plus 0.4.
Wasn't that much.
But Bolt was minus 0.3.
Ooh.
Into a headwind. I like it when they get really excited when it's minus 0.1. Into a headwind. Like that's.
For those listening, Kevin's just hitting me.
Yeah. Okay. What else? Did we get to
we
show?
have more schedule content. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. You really don't like the show today. It's okay.
No, I'm loving the show. So
someone's texting you.
Someone's texting you? Who's texting you?
No.
You got friends?
Yeah. Of course. Sources.
You got sources?
Do you want to check in on the soccer game here? We do an update.
Soccer game update?
0-0. Netherlands.
Who are you cheering for in World Cup now?
Oh, Argentina.
Why?
Listen, I like Europe. I want something.
So we're not Brazil.
Oh, they're out.
Brazil lost? When did that happen? This morning?
Yeah, in PKs.
Really?
Yeah.
Who did they lose to?
Croatia. Wow. Breaking news for Gordon.
We have one of our colleagues is from Croatia.
Don't know.
Yeah, he was posting in the chat him wearing the jersey and stuff.
Yeah. So they go to extra time. Neymar scores at the very end of the first half of extra time. They go up 1-0. 4 minutes left in the game. Croatia got their first shot on target. It ricochets off a Brazilian player and it goes in. Tie him up. 3 minutes later, it goes to PKs.
Dang.
Croatia did it.
All right. So, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but we always got to keep with the economy these days, right? You always got to be on the pulse of job opportunities out there.
Yeah.
We're lucky for you, Kevin. There are 5 job opportunities at the World Athletics.
So, the World Athletics.
The World Athletics. And so what I wanted to do with you is I wanted to go through each one, and I wanted to see which ones you think you're most qualified for. You ready for these jobs?
Yeah. I'm looking at these. These are great.
So we're going to scroll down to the first.
You going to read all this?
I'm not going to read it all.
This is almost exciting as a schedule.
It's looking differently on the. For some reason, it's not coming up.
It's in French.
It's in French. Scroll back up. That's too much French. It should be like bold. Maybe zoom out. Maybe push the Apple zoom out button. Scroll.
You can read them.
Yeah, there we go. Now let's scroll. Let's scroll. Here we go. Let's go to the first one. Weird text. Anyway, Therapeutic Use Exemption Committee.
TUEs.
The Therapeutic Use Exemption Committee considers applications for the grant or recognition of therapeutic use exemptions for athletes. So basically, you're in charge of saying, is this inhaler an exemption or not?
I think I'd be good at that.
You'd be good at that? You'd
Yeah.
be able to tell people whether or not this is a BS, if this is for therapy or this is for increasing your athletic ability.
I think I'd be good at that. I ask a lot of good questions. I also like that you serve for a 4-year period as if it's sort of like a ban. Like you would serve from 2023 to 2027 according to the job posting. So only 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that one.
Okay. Scale 1 to 10.
Well, that's a solid 7.
Solid 7. All right. Next one. Be a member of the disciplinary tribunal.
That sounds like a lot of pressure.
So this is the first instance. This is a first instance disciplinary tribunal that hears and decides on all breaches of the World Athletics Integrity Code of Conduct. There are 40 members from all over the world. So you'll be one of 40, or you'll be the 41st member. And basically you decide discipline on the tribunal.
I'm one of 40 people who decides.
Yeah, so you're 1/40th of
seems like a lot
deciding on 2-year ban, 1-year ban. Do you have to return the medal? Do you have to pay a fine? How would you do with this? Are you good at handing out punishments? Like, how are you with punishing your kids?
Yeah, I think I'd be fair. It says, it's doping and non-doping related matters, including non-doping cases related to disciplinary, ethical, and eligibility matters. I just want to know how long these meetings are. I'm not a big meeting guy.
Not a big meeting guy?
And you're getting 40 people on the Zoom.
That's
a
lot of blocks.
People versus Gordon Mack. What do we think on this one? You're not on mute. Like that.
Do you think people are just be like, 2 or 4, flip a coin, 2-year ban, 4-year ban, we're done?
I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10. I like the TUE committee better than this one. What else?
So you don't like giving out punishments. Vetting panel.
I just don't like working with, that's too big of a group.
So you can be a member of the vetting panel.
Okay, I like
So what is a vetting panel, you may ask?
Yeah, tell me.
The role of the World Athletics vetting panel is to decide whether persons seeking to be or who are World Athletics officials are eligible to take or remain in office. So basically, you're researching future future members of World Athletics to make sure they don't have any questionable past.
Okay, I'm good at Googling.
You can Google people. You can. Yeah.
I can dig up some information.
You know how to like find their LinkedIn profile and then be like, "Ooh, okay,
man, you got endorsed for some skills here, and I don't know if that's the type of skills we want here."
Like, do you actually know Excel, or are you just bullshitting us?
Yeah. So it's only 3 people too.
That's it. That's your Zoom call. There's only 3 people.
I have to have significant legal experience. I've watched Law and Order though.
Yeah.
Does that count? Experience
Judge
in the
Judy.
vetting of or screening of applicants and candidates for official position. I mean, I would like this one, but since I'm not going to get it. I'll put it as a 4.
My question is, who vets the vetting panel?
Yeah.
Like, do they vet themselves? And is that a conflict of interest?
Yeah. That's a good point.
It's like,
that's what I would ask on my first day.
It's like, how do you build a crane?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they have machine. You ever seen the videos?
But don't you need a crane to build a crane?
They have it's all mechanized. It's really cool, actually. Go on YouTube after the show.
You know what I mean, though? Because how do you get high up without a crane to get you high up?
Yeah. You got to look at it. I'm telling you. It's interesting.
Okay.
Put that on your to-do list today.
I'll put on my to-do list. All right.
Screening bodies.
You don't want to be on the vetting panel?
No.
Okay.
No.
So we won't vet you.
TUE is still number 1.
TUE is still number 1. Be a member of the screening body. Again, all these are 4-year terms. Mm-hmm. So what's a screening body? Mm-hmm. It sounds like TSA, right?
Yeah, except you ensure that members of the vetting panel also meet the high standards of contact. There you go.
This is the vetters of the vetters.
Yeah.
But then, then who vets the screening body?
Well, that comes to our last job here, election oversight panel. Yeah, I guess it's not.
No. So the vetting panel vets the screening body. The screening body vets the vetting panel.
Mm-hmm.
Circular logic. That's why World Athletics is in the state it's in.
It's like the 3 branches of government.
Yeah.
I don't endorse what Gordon just said, by the way. If I'm applying for these jobs, it's in great shape. Everything is good.
Okay, so you don't want to be on a screening body either.
No, I think this last one's kind of interesting. Election oversight panel.
Okay, what's that?
Well, you supervise the elections. The problem is, I have to have relevant experience in developing and managing electoral processes. Ideally, having done so with sports bodies. I mean, I've voted like on those fan votes, like who's the MVP of the Final Four.
Yeah,
I've done that a few times.
You've clicked on some Twitter polls.
Exactly.
Wouldn't it be great if we just decide World Athletics like next steps just via Twitter polls?
Yeah. Because look, I'm looking at the TUE committee. The members of the committee have experience in the care and treatment of athletes and a sound knowledge of clinical sports and exercise medicine, and are independent of World Athletics. Yeah, I guess I don't have enough experience for any of these. But I'll go TUE. I think would be the most.
So you want to be on TUE number 1, number 2 option.
The elections.
You want to be on the election oversight panel. Number 3.
I think then I would be on the vetting of the vetters.
You want to be the screening body.
Yeah. And then the vetting body.
And then you're the vetting body. And then last, you want to be discipline.
Yeah, just because
tribunal.
I don't think
40 people.
I don't think anybody's idea of a good time is.
Do you think they have to wear like robes, like they're in a Supreme Court?
I hope so.
Then big wigs.
Never mind.
If you got to wear a wig,
then it's number 2. It gets bumped up.
Yeah.
I
like that.
All right, I think that's the show. We did great.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, FloTrackPodcast@gmail.com is the email address. Thanks to Nico for producing. Thanks to everybody chiming in on the chat. We'll be back Monday. We're going to go into holiday posting schedule pretty soon, but we'll talk about that on Monday once.
We still have to do a bonus pod.
Bonus pod coming
next week
as well, too. That's on Colt's schedule, so we'll get you guys that next week. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Who's winning cross champs? We'll tell you on Monday.
What? Put in the rundown. See you guys.